Aloha friends, happy Moonday. Just take a moment to settle into this new week that we have coming upon us. The planetary alignment brought a lot of really heightened energy, and what I'm hearing is like not apologizing, like getting into a place where you can be completely unapologetic and true to yourself. And I had a really good lesson in the last several days where, I rose up and I had plans to go somewhere, and I just kept getting the message that I shouldn't go. And it was like every little thing leading up to it kept telling me I shouldn't go, I shouldn't go, I shouldn't go. And I really wanted to go. Like my soul felt like I needed to be there for multiple reasons. And I just kind of pushed through it and didn't really think much of all of the roadblocks that were in the way. And then once I got there, I sat there for a moment, and it really hit me like I'm not supposed to be here. And I sat with it and I asked myself, like, okay, so do I apologize to the people that I'm meeting up with because this is super last minute to cancel and leave on them? How do I express to them what I've been feeling and what I'm feeling now? And what came to me, I just really sat with it. And mind you, I had been clearing so much. I had been purging all day, just crying a whole lot of tears, just emotions were moving through me. I know that I unblocked something, so there was a lot of movement emotionally. And as I sat there and I thought about it, it was like, one, you don't have to apologize for feeling like you don't want to be somewhere. Two, if you're in the energy where you really know that you can't be there, you also don't need to like express it, because sometimes it's really hard to express what we're going through in the moment, right? And so I sat there like, okay, do I express it? Do I tell them this? How do I tell them what's going on? And then, am I going to be crying all the way home? And I just finally, the words came through me, and it was like, hey, I had to leave. Enjoy, have a good time without me. We'll talk about it soon. And it felt so good to say that, and for the words to come out and the energy to shift, of just being in a place where I don't have to, like, we as a collective, we don't have to apologize anymore for just being who we are and doing what we need to do that's best for us. And so I feel like these gifts that are coming online for a lot of people, you may not see it as a gift, because gift, we think about, oh, I'm going to have heightened senses or some kind of superpower. But being true to yourself really is a superpower, and not having to be apologetic for it, or not having to bring the words out when you're not ready to speak them. Just really saying, I wasn't able to make it. And in one of my last videos, I remember talking about how, just 30 years ago, we weren't able to get a hold of you, just by ringing your cell phone. And it was a lot more complicated. If we wanted to get a hold of somebody, they had to be home, or we had to be in community. If they didn't show up in community, like maybe someone would go check on them, at their home and make sure they were okay. Or maybe they didn't and they would just leave it and intuitively tap in and feel, do I need to, go check on this person or do I not? I feel like there's so much to work with there. And so what my guides taught me, and what's coming through for this upcoming week, because a lot of times I process things before the collective, is being true to self, allowing yourself to be unapologetic, and not having to come up with the words to express yourself immediately. Taking a step back and just giving a general, I had to leave, I will be in touch. And then when you have time to process through whatever you're growing through, then you can actually get something out that, can go much deeper, or not, whatever you choose. But they're saying the theme that's coming up collectively moving forward with, after this planetary alignment and all of these big shifts that we've had, and just the movement and the progression into the year of the snake, is authenticity. Being authentic to you, what feels good in your body. If something doesn't feel good in your body, if it's not a fuck yes, then it is a no. And yeah, it may disappoint some people, and it sucks that feeling like as a society, we've come into a space where like it's hard to disappoint people. I feel like there are a lot more people pleasers, than anything else, but we're going to see that start to shift. So also my guides are telling me, give grace to those who are in that same position. Maybe they don't have the words to tell you what they're going through, or maybe, you know, they just do things differently than you. And that doesn't require an apology. It doesn't require them to feel any less about themselves to make you feel better. So have grace with those around you and allow yourself to be in your authenticity. What is true for you? What feels good in your heart? So it's going to be a little bit longer than last week. Last week was crazy fast. I think the energy was just so heightened and a lot of movement that they weren't able to really narrow it down to a complete like drawn out message. It was just like, things are speeding up and get ready, let's go. It feels a little bit more drawn out this week. So we have two piles to choose from. The pile on the left is the rare, can't tell clear. The raw Shungite, and the pile on the right is the rose quartz, raw rose quartz. I love raw crystals. They have so much depth and knowledge in them. So anyhow, go ahead and choose either left or right, and the timestamp will be in the description. I'm going to go ahead and start today with the Shungite. So let's see what we have for the Shungite. All right, those of you who chose the left pile, the raw Shungite. Shungite is a great stone for self-reflection. They're telling me a lot of people use it to deter negative energies, to ward off like EMF even. But they're telling me that it is, can you bring that back because I channeled that spirit and I forgot. Thanks you, inner self. Like, it connects you with your inner self. It really allows you to go deep within so that you can clear some stuff and rise and get to a different, get yourself to a frequency that's, they're telling me tolerable. So I feel like this pile might be growing through some stuff right now, like really trying to surrender and connect with, connect to a higher power, to a higher source, to the divine, the creator, God. Let's go ahead and flip this over. The animals wanted to come through today. So we have a marten. I've never really heard of this animal before. But it says, fortunate tidings, camaraderie, and crown chakra. Yeah, so there we go, crown chakra. So definitely a connection with a higher purpose, right? So you may have felt like you've lost connection recently, or like you're having a hard time connecting to your guides or even to God itself. So I'm going to do just a little crown opening they're asking me to do right now. So if you are open to receive, just take a nice deep breath in and open mouth exhale, relax your shoulders. Usuna na nakiana tishikiana na fatumana na katatiniana na yana yarakatashi ni tufuna na nakai anakashikani na tafutumana kishiana na yaratusumana na katisi kitiana na futumana na yaratikiana shkiana na yana futumana na yanakiniana na. All right, so they wanted me to just open up through the crown chakra so that you can start receiving codes. So if you were open to this, to receiving, your guides are actually going to come through and work with my guides to do some energetic clearing in your crown chakra. So you may feel like a little bit of tingling in your head. You may get a little bit of a headache or feel a little bit of a tension. It's just because they're going in and releasing thoughts. They're telling me you have been too much in your mind, overthinking things, creating things with your mind that do not exist. And they're going in and just kind of emptying it out, like giving you a crown chakra purge right now. So you can just, if you want to, probably close down your eyes while you continue to listen to the rest of this reading, because there is going to be some motion and movement in the crown chakra for you. I'll check back in with you at the end. Let's pull some tarot and see if we can go any deeper. All right, on what is coming through for you all. Wow, they're coming out quick tonight. All right, let's see. Oh, do we want that? Yes, they said. Okay, one more. All right, one more here. Got it. Thank you. Alrighty, let's see what we have coming through for you all. Okay, they're telling me this one is got to be in reverse. So we'll leave that there like that. Okay, so the first card that's coming up and what they're showing me is that there's something that you've been wanting, and you have such a lock on it. Like they're telling me that you've like grasped onto it too tightly. Like you know it's coming, you feel it, it's tangible, and yet it feels like you're smothering it. Like your energy is it's too much. There's too much energy in there. So you're like almost like, I guess, like hovering parent type energy, like very ego driven. Like I'm going to have this, it's going to happen. And being that ego driven, it also brings up shadows. It also brings up fears of, what if it doesn't happen? How am I gonna, just basic stuff. How am I going to get through some basic stuff if this doesn't happen? They're saying the desire is too much. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Oh yes, let it go, 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 let it go. You've got to let go of the desire of having whatever it is that you've been calling in. You've got to let go and let God. Give it to the universe. It is not yours to carry, right? So whatever it is that you've been waiting on, that you've been calling in, it's like this shift is tangible. It's there, you feel it. What's happening right now collectively with the timelines is, as light workers, we tend to like forge the way through the timelines for those that are traveling, that are following us, we're the guiding light, right? We go through the shadow, we clear stuff, and then we teach other people how to do it for self. And so what they're saying is, you've gone ahead and you've cleared so much that now the timeline has to catch up to you. So it feels like this, like they're showing me like a rubber band. It's like it's stretching out and you are at capacity. It's like, oh my gosh, I cannot take this anymore. This rubber band is about to break. And they're like, no, it's okay, trust. And you don't need to take this on yourself. You need to let go and let God. Trust that your highest self, that the divine creator, that your angels, guides, passed on loved ones, that they're working for you. They're doing everything on their end, and you have already. They're telling me you've already done so much on your end. So you may feel like, when is this going to shift? I've done so much. I've been through so much. I've gone through all of these dark nights, and I just want a break. I'm just ready for a break. I'm exhausted. My soul is exhausted. And they're saying, well, stop carrying it. You don't need to carry it. Whatever you are wanting, what you are calling in. They're reminding me, like when you plant a seed, when you're gardening and you plant a seed, you don't go out there every day and pull back the soil and see how much it's grown. You trust that after you plant it and you water it and you give it sunlight or whatever else it needs, that it's going to grow. And you see it start to sprout. But you don't go in every day and pull that soil to the side and look down to see how much it's grown. You trust that if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's going to come through for you. So trust. If you are into affirmations, it would be really good to write, I trust myself. I trust in a higher power. I trust. They're reminding me, like, I used to go to yoga class where it was filled with many people who were far more advanced than I was. And I was a little intimidated going into that class, but every day I would get there early, I would set up my mat and I would pull out my mala and I would work with my mala every day. And I would say, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm flexible, I'm flexible, I'm flexible. And I'll tell you, on those days when I would do that, I felt like I was the strongest person in the class. The instructors would always come over to me and be like, wow, like, how are you even holding that position for as long as you are, or whatever. I would get a compliment from them. And so they're saying, like, use that technique. If you have a mala or you have a bracelet with beads on it or a rosary, use the counting to help you. I trust. I'm letting go. I am letting go. And a lot of the times when I would do this, I would start with one affirmation and then something else would come to my head, just like it did just now. And then I would use that affirmation for as long as I could. And then something else would pop into my head. And by the time class would start, I would be so jazzed up and ready to go that I felt like I could actually be on the same level as some of those that were super advanced in the class. And I was doing things that I never thought I would be able to do, but my body and my strength and my flexibility were so open from these affirmations that I was able to do things that I wouldn't have been able to do before. So really, if you, again, are into affirmations, look into doing something like this, because it's going to shift you a lot. A lot of what is going on with you right now is in your head. It's in your mind space. So they are still clearing. I checked back in with them. They are still clearing through the crown chakra. And okay, they're telling me like specifically there's stuff going on the right side. So it's a block. Okay, it's a block in creativity. So you may have some like sacral chakra stuff going on as well. It's a disconnect. They're showing me this red lotus flower here and how it's kind of disconnected from the rest of the picture. And so they're saying like there's a disconnect in the sacral chakra. So find some meditations or sound journeys or frequencies or whatever it is that you use to work on your sacral chakra. Maybe get a Reiki session from someone or an energy healing session. But once you get that sacral chakra balanced and in flow, then that'll help open up the other things. Because that block, they're still working on the crown chakra. They're going to continue working on that part for you so that we can open up and get you connected to a higher power again. And then they're telling me from there, it's all about balance. It's all about getting things into a place where you, I don't like this word, but they're bringing it through. They're saying where you are in control. And let me explain that. They want me to go deeper. Not like you have to have control. You're hovering over like the, like the helicopter parent. But it's, thank you. It's letting go, knowing and trusting that what's meant for you will not pass you by. And then balancing self, bringing yourself into control, right? So you're not out self-sabotaging or reacting or overreacting or doing these things that actually hurt you. So the control is really self-control and balance. And they're showing me here how her throat chakra is covered. And they're saying protect your throat. Okay, I feel like this is specific for maybe just one or two people. They're telling me, okay, so there's something going on in the astral when you're going into dream time. I believe that you are a light warrior. You're probably doing some like battles and working in, helping shift humanity in some of the lower densities. And so when you go into that space, cover your throat, put a protection. You can just imagine like a blue light. You can call in Archangel Michael and ask him to put a blue shield around your neck. But they're really showing me like that you need to shield your neck because it causes it's when it gets backed up, like when you're taking on so much, because you actually are someone who's really sensitive and can connect to, okay, now this is for a few people, thank you. You connect to a lot of the collective energy. So they're saying you have to protect yourself so that you don't overreact, because when when we drop to those levels that people are like, if somebody's in a lower vibration and they're having a shitty day and they take it out on us, we have one of two options. We can either have compassion for them and understand that what they're going through has nothing to do with you and it's just something they need to get through, and they're maybe not the happiest person right now, we just need to walk away. Or you can become reactionary and drop to their level, to their frequency, and get in that same vibration. The problem is once you drop to that frequency, it's hard to get out of it. It's hard for you to get out of it. So really, self-control is going to be a big part of moving through the next several days. And then releasing, cancel, clear the word release, please. Let go of the desire of what it is that you're calling in so that you can let God, your guides, your angels, your passed on loved ones, all your highest self come through and make it happen for you. All right. And then we have these two that came out, and they specifically wanted the Seven of Fire in reverse. So bring that up here. And again, look, she's protecting her throat. She's like, has the hands over her throat. So yeah, so you're in a space right now where they're saying, be very mindful of your words. And also maybe not share, like I'm hearing like intuitive gifts are coming online for you, and it's probably not the best time to be sharing what's coming online. There are some energies around you that are, they're listening. I'm not saying this to frighten you, it's just something that you need to know. There are energies that are listening to see where you're at in your vibration. Remember, the powers that were, they don't want us to rise. They want control. They want to be able to tell us when to do things, how to do things, what, they want us to buy into the old paradigm and the systems that were created. And we're breaking that. We're breaking through that. So be mindful not to drop in those lower level vibrations, because those entities, those dark energies are waiting really to like pounce and become a part of that just madness that happens. And that's why they're still working on your crown. There's definitely some blockage, but they're saying they're mostly just like clearing out old dots, stuff that you don't need to carry anymore. Let some stuff go. I tell my husband all the time, close some tabs. You don't need it. Let it go. And then after all this coming, so towards the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, there is going to be some balance that's coming back in. And they're saying there's going to be kind of like so the word they're using is like graduation. And some people are going to be graduating into the energy of really fully understanding that the energy that they put out is the energy that they get back. And some people are going to be pulled back into those lower vibrations, into reacting and that old paradigm of duality. So be mindful of that. The graduation is going to feel like a relief for those of you who get to that point. It's going to feel like, okay, I get it. And they're reminding me, I had I'll share like a quick little story with you all. When I was in school, I got into a lot of altercations with other girls, and I got into a lot of like fist fights, and there was just a lot of tension. And I always at that time felt like I never did anything wrong. I got sucker punched in the hallway. I got jumped. I had all this stuff that happened to me that was like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I don't know what I do. I'm nice to everybody. I don't talk stuff about anybody. Like, I'm genuinely a good person. And I have all these girls that want to fight me. Well, back at home, I was dealing with a lot of chaos in my home life. And there was a lot of angry energy, some violence, and just a lot of stuff that I was growing through. And so fast forward my healing journey, and I finally realized the energy that I was collecting at home, I was emanating that out in this, at school, in the space I was in. So I was emanating such a strong energy that I feel like those girls were just reacting to the energy that I was putting out. So it brought it all back into balance for me. And it makes me really mindful of what type of energy I'm in when I go out, and how I'm constantly clearing myself. You guys, I keep Palo Santo in my car so that I can smudge myself before I walk in somewhere or as I get home. And I keep this selenite wand with me so that if I need a fast little clearing, I can take and clear my body with it. And it's super simple. You just take and use the selenite wand to really like wand and move over your body, and you can clear energy that way. You may have actually felt, they're telling me you may have actually felt the clearing from the wand here. So I'll do a couple more for you. Yes. All right. Spirit, are we complete with the crown stuff for now? Yes. They're saying rest. Please make sure to hydrate. Make sure that you're, really hydrating, not just with water. If you are drinking water, make sure it's good water, that you're putting, like a Celtic salt or a sea salt in it. Pickle juice has natural electrolytes, so pickle juice is great if you are feeling dehydrated. And then really just any juices. They're saying really hydrate, because they did a lot of work on the crown for those of you that were open. So I'm going to go ahead and just close it up now and call them back. Thank you, guides, angels, past on loved ones, for coming through and helping us in this mini little Moonday session. We ask you to go ahead and bring it back with love, Husuna kanachini and tia katashinana, Ufutuna manakati and Kaniana Nashkiana, Ravatumanakashtikiana, Katanana, Fatumanikiniana, Yerekishkiniana, Fatumanakutuma, and Atenayana, Katisni and Aftumanunu. Thank you to those of you who chose card number 1, the Shungite. Maybe get some Shungite, carry it on your person this week. It'll probably be really good for you. Or at least like tap into the energy of it. and feel into it. You can look it up online. I think that is it. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next Moonday. Take care. Aloha to those of you who chose the raw rose quartz. Lovely little raw piece there. Oh, it feels, the energy feels lovely. It goes with the rose quartz. It just feels like everything is in alignment. It's a good progression forward, not a lot of rapid changes this week, but just a steady progression and movement through things. Let's see what animal wanted to come through for you all. That's the cricket. All right, cricket brings divine protection. When you hear crickets outside and they're, or even in your home and they're really close to you, it's because they're bringing divine protection. So I know, you know, the noise can sometimes be a lot, but if you surrender into it, it can actually be really peaceful. And that's what they're saying. Like the crickets are bringing peace, alignment. They're bringing freedom and liberty. So it just feels like whatever choices you made in, you know, specifically in the last week or in the last couple of months, they're telling me, has brought you to where you are now. And it feels really good. It feels aligned, and like there's going to be a good progression forward for you. So let's see, let's pull just a few tarot cards to go a little bit deeper, see if there's any other messages for those of you that chose the raw rose quartz. All right. Oh, you want both of those? Yes. Okay. Ah. Man, these cards are flying. Okay. There we go. Yes. Okay, they said just to connect to the energy. I cannot make it to the one that flew across the room right now. But I will connect to its energy once I flip these over as well. So let's see what we got. Okay, interesting. I want me to turn this way. All right, so it feels, wow, like I said, lovely, love type energy. Love is in the air. It feels welcoming and genuine. This is, you know, typically what this card represents to me is a new love connection or soul connection coming online. But what they're telling me is that this is the divine connection between your masculine and feminine self. It's allowing the masculine to be more open and vulnerable, and allowing your feminine to rise back into a space of, they're just saying divinity. So can you go deeper into that for me, Spirit, please? Yeah, they're just saying that the feminine has been suppressed for so long that it's the rise of the feminine now, and there's this balance that's happening. So it's like your inner masculine is holding your inner feminine, and that's what's allowing her to rise. Wow, that's beautiful. And that is obviously for any gender. Your inner masculine is holding and caring for your inner feminine so that your inner feminine can rise. And then once the rise, you're going through this right now where that's why it feels so balanced. Your energy feels really good, very grounded and balanced and fruitful. They're telling me, like, you're going to see a lot more opportunities popping up for you if you haven't already. I feel like those of you that chose this card, you've already come across some amazing opportunities that are just kind of flowing right now. It feels like you're in the flow, and as soon as you're laying back and enjoying it, and boom, something happens. And then again, you're like, okay, this was great, and you're laying back and you're enjoying it, and boom, something happens. And so it's all of this energy that's coming in feels really good. It's aligned with your soul purpose. So definitely stay in that go with the flow type energy. There is some fire energy coming through, and they're telling me it's okay, can you go deeper with that, Spirit? I want to make sure that I receive this message well so that I can. Okay, yeah, they're showing me like it's this weaving that's happening right now. Okay, so there's this energetic weaving that's happening with your highest self and your body. It's like they're integrating. Your highest self is your highest self is integrating with your body. So you may actually be feeling a lot more tired than you normally do. It may feel like there are times that you're just like random times of the day you're feeling really exhausted and like you don't have the energy to move forward. And they're just saying it's because this inner weaving is happening energetically for you. So make sure that you're getting enough nutrients. This is super important. They're saying you may actually be like needing more nutrients now than ever. So you know, it's funny because I was just talking to a soul sister the other day about how, you know, my eating habits are changing again, where I really wanted like just fruits and vegetables for the longest time. And right now, all I want is meat. All I want is like max protein. And so maybe that's changing for you too. They're saying go with it because your body is needing the nutrients. The energetic weaving and connection that's happening with your highest self in the body is taking a lot out of the body. So give yourself time to rest, really honor, not just give yourself time. They're saying honor your rest, allow yourself to drop into it. And thank you, bring that back, please. Honor rest. And okay, they're saying, they just told me to be quiet, so I'm gonna be quiet for a moment and let what needs to come through for you come through. Okay, so the last thing I heard was slow down. Slow down. Yes, you are getting these opportunities. Yes, they are coming and everything feels good and aligned. And it's great for you to take these opportunities. But in between time, you need to rest. And if you listen to the rare planetary alignment portal reading that I did, there was a card reading in there that talked specifically about being action forward in your rising hours, and then when you're not like taking control of this, like give me a better word, please, being in the moment with those opportunities that are coming through, that you're pulling back and allowing yourself deep rest. All right, so that's why they wanted the silence to come through, for you to just feel into it, connect. You are getting you are already getting downloads from your highest self, and they're downloading codes through your body. So what I'm hearing is DNA upgrades, and it can feel exhausting to get these upgrades. It's hard because we can say like, oh, well, I haven't done much today, or I shouldn't feel this tired, you know, but shouldn't what, according to society, you know, it's like nobody knows what you're growing through in your body. So if you are feeling exhausted, take a time out, nourish yourself, eat some nutrient dense foods. You know, maybe instead of like reaching for like a pastry, you reach for a piece of fruit instead, something that's going to energize you. They're just saying you need nutrients and rest. All right, any last messages for this pile before we wrap it up? Breathe. This is going to sound funny for some of you. Others will understand. But if you have to set a timer on your phone to just take a time out and breathe, please do so. You know, before I got into all of my my big shift in the spirituality and my mediumship, I had a boss in a very 3D world that I was in at that time that would disappear for lunch every day. And we would always ask, like, where did so-and-so go? How come he's not here? And they said, oh, he's in his car meditating. And we thought it was the funniest thing. Like, we actually kind of laughed about it. Like, who goes to their car and meditates on lunch? And now, wow, I completely understand. And, you know, even during that time, I saw how hyped up and on the go and like overwhelmed things could get in the AM. And he would go take his, you know, do his meditation and get deep rest. And the afternoon he would come through with the same amount of energy he had in the AM. And it was unlike anyone else that was there. By the end of the day, we were all exhausted and ready to go home. He actually had energy to do something else other than just work and drive home and maybe eat some dinner and call it a night. He actually, you know, had more energy than the rest of us. So tap into meditation if you haven't already, or at least silence. Set a timer on your phone to take some deep breaths and just connect with self. Maybe even, this came through recently as well, like just tap out for a second. If you feel like you've been on the go, you've been doing so much, take a moment and sit back, relax your shoulders, take a nice deep breath in, close down your eyes and feel into your body. What is your body telling you? All right, thank you all so much. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Look forward to seeing you next time. Happy Moonday. So real quick, this is the card that flew across the room. Spirit just wanted me to show it to you and let you know that this is the energy that you are coming into. Fully stepping into your authenticity, glowing and shining your light, opening those wings, and letting yourself be free. All right. Happy Moonday. Adios.